Welcome to our December board meeting. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Paulette O'Brien.
Here. Here.
Here.
Scott Layton.
Here.
Here.
In the event of an emergency, visitors are advised to exit this room from the one side door which leads directly into the parking lot. In the event of an emergency, visitors are asked to move away from the building and do not attempt to leave in your automobile. This may cause traffic problems and block incoming emergency.
Thank you. We'll get through this first stuff really quickly so we can get to our students. Our first thing on the agenda is our first hearing of visitors. At this time, we request that questions and comments be kept to only agenda items. Does anyone care to address the board at this time? Okay. That brings us to our consent agenda, which is the approval of our minutes from our regular board meeting of November 17th. Our financial matters, which are our bills, our treasurer's report of November, our monthly budget status report of November, transfers, extra classroom activity fund for November, contracts with curriculum associates, and we're surplusing a whole bunch of stuff. Do I need to read the whole stuff? No. Okay, lots of stuff and what happens to these things when they're surplused?
So when things are surplus, they're put on what's called disposal sale. They go onto a list. Who's the list go through, Chuck? Do you remember the name? You know the company that lists the disposal?
Well, I'm sorry, for the...
You know the name of the company that lists for disposal? So he'll look for it. So it goes on a list, and then people can bid on it and buy it. If things are not, many things that we put on disposal are quite honestly not purchasable. Some are. We just can't use them. Others are broke and beyond repair, and they end up, after we go through the process of disposing them, bidding them, then we are allowed to throw them out. We'll put them on disposal sale, put them on bid, then we can throw them out, or someone buys them and they're retasked, or, in some cases, when we have old furniture that's not usable to us, we can give it away and donate it to somebody that could possibly use it.
Well, I was wondering about the 5 electric ovens that are being surplused. They're all broken at the same time, or they're just all outdated at the same time, and can they be donated somewhere?
I think that some of them have some items, they're not holding the heat right.
And were they budgeted to be replaced?
Yep.
Okay. I just thought if they're
Yeah.
at all workable for somebody needy.
I think they're useful, that they do pass them on. A lot of these items are broken.
Okay.
And disposed of.
Yeah. So, you'd be surprised at what people buy, off the disposal sale.
Well, thank you.
Yep.
And then also on here is a donation from the Southold School Educational Foundation in the amount of $2,128 for the purchase of 2 3D printers for use in the physics, marine science, and robotics programs. Also attached are the CSE recommendations. Are there any other comments or questions on the consent agenda? Is there a motion to accept it?
So moved. Second.
Second? Who was the second? John. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Dr. Moore, the superintendent's report.
So, in lieu of doing a superintendent's report, we're going to have a student presentation. It's great to honor our students for the extra that they do. And, being part of these groups takes a great deal of extra time and hard work. The people I'm speaking to have probably heard and watched it all since they were young, because most of you are their parents, and that's where they've done it. So I'm going to hand it off to Mr. Rush now, and he's going to introduce everybody, and we're going to get to hear some really nice music.
Thank you, Dr. Morrow, and thank you to our Board of Education for having us this evening. Number one, thank you to our students for coming tonight. I know it's a very busy week with our winter concerts and your studies and athletics, so thank you for taking the time. And thank you to our parents. Sorry my back's to you, but thank you very much for bringing your children to this school. We're beyond lucky and so proud, so thank you for that. So tonight we're going to hear some musical selections. We're going to lead off with our chamber ensemble with Mrs. Gratwell. But before we begin, I do want to just bring up one piece. We are very lucky here to have our music department. and the teachers that we have. Mrs. Gratwell, Mr. Himmelman, and Mrs. Bauman, for the last 2 years, have worked tirelessly to provide our students with live music and music classes and lessons. And this week, we have performances, live in-person performances. We've probably met 10, 12, 15 times to figure out how to do it, when to do it, spacing, and without their diligence, we would not be having these performances tonight. So why don't we give them a round of applause real quick. So for our chamber ensemble with Mrs. Grathwell, we have tonight Annie Antonucci, Aiko Fujita, Emily Bauman, K.H. Kasinger, Olivia Muskowitz, Jennifer Serrano Campos, Judith Anderson, Sophia Bartoloni, Alexa Feeney, and Tate Neese.
The chamber ensemble will be playing 2 pieces from the Nutcracker Suite, the March and the Dance of the Sugar Plum Fair.
Thank you, Mrs. Grathwell, and our chamber ensemble. Next up, we have Mr. Himmelman for our saxophone ensemble. Joining us this evening, we have Gabrielle Bifalco, Hannah Taggart, All the way from Greenport, Franklin Mastrangelo. Tate Clipstein is usually with our quartet here. However, he is at a wrestling match, so our very own Mr. Himmelman will be filling in.
So we'll be playing 3 songs for you tonight. We're going to start with Jingle Bells, and then we'll do Silent Night, and we're going to finish with Frosty the Snowman. We hope you enjoy. All right, we all set? Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Himmelman, and our saxophone quartet. I would just like again to thank our students, Mr. Himmelman, Mrs. Gratwell, for coming this evening. Let's give them all one last round of applause. So students, our Board of Education also would like to award you these beautiful certificates just in recognition of your hard work and your dedication to the performing arts. So if you'd like to please stand, as you don't fall off the stage, that would be terrible. Maybe slide them back, we'll stand up and your teachers will be able to give out your certificates for you. As the Board of Education, if you guys can come up over here as well. Thank you.
You guys should stand on the risers.
What are we doing?
You're going to stand right in the middle, face Mr. Keel. The students are standing above us, we'll be good.
Mask off?
Mask off. Mask off photo?
Thank you.
Yeah, mask off photo. If you'd like, if you'd like.
Are we going to get
Yes.
Live feed is cut.
I said I went to see that a few years ago.
I haven't seen it. Love the music, I love the dance. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Rush, and students, and thank you again to parents. So we'll just take 1 minute, let everybody kind of shuffle out, and then we'll move on, all right?
You know, I wish I had that kind of brain, you know? I never had the music brain. Whenever I see people playing music, I'm very jealous.
May I just say one thing? I'm Phil Mastrangelo. My son is Franklin. He goes to Greenport, and he participates in this jazz program. I can't thank you enough. Cannot thank you enough.
You're welcome, thank
Happy
you.
to have them.
All your music teachers.
Thank you.
Right on.
Thank you.
So, okay.
Okay, old business. Dr. Morrow?
So, you know, how deeply you want to go into the masks? So we were asked, I was asked last week, or last board meeting, sorry, last month, to gather information about the mask mandate and, you know, what possible consequences if we weren't to follow it. We did work with our law firm, and, you know, the consequences are fairly severe. There are districts that have notified the state that they weren't going to follow it. They all received pretty much similar guidelines from the state. There would be a $1,000 a day fine, possible loss of state aid, and possible removal of any licensed personnel who chooses not to follow it or recommends not mandating masks, and then possible removal of board members. You know, consequences that, you know, in my opinion, are way too severe for us to risk, because they could jeopardize our district, although, you know, it's unfortunate. So I don't know if, I could tell you that I couldn't make a recommendation to not follow the mandate. You know, and I don't think it would be a good idea for our district either. I did share documents with the board that indicated just what I said.
Thank you for doing the research on that.
You're very welcome.
That that brings us to personnel. We have Jacqueline O'Connor leaving the district, resignation effective November 30th, 2021. Employees entering the district, full-time permanent, Karen Vanessa Ramirez Torrento, the teacher aide. And employees entering the district on a full-time temporary positions are Martin Menigo, who's special ed, is going to be the special ed math replacement, now replacing Ms. Derrigan. The leave replacement will take place, there's not a date on there for his, though, but I know it's going to run consecutive.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, they actually overlap. So Mr. Rush will work with what subs we have available and exactly when one leaves and goes out. It's supposed to be no gap, but a 1-week overlap. So what we'll do is we'll utilize substitutes for 1 week between those two classes in the best way that serves our kids. And Mr. Rush will manage that based on when the Regents is and the different things that we have going on.
Okay, great.
Okay?
And we have Terry Sanders as a science leave replacement for Ms. Berberich, effective February 11th, 2022 through June 24th, 2022. Employees entering part-time temporary, senior class advisor, Audrey Grathwell is going to be in place of Kristen Derrigan. ACT coordinator, Christine Imbriano, is going to be in place of Kristen Derrigan. And mentor pairs, Caitlin Appel with Joe Crimmy. We'll act on those and then we'll do the tenure recommendation. Is that okay? That's what we usually do?
Yes.
Is there a motion to accept the superintendent's recommendations?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and then we have a tenure recommendation. Dr. Morrow, I'll let you speak and then we will vote.
So Jude Dennehy is with us today, sitting here in the audience. She serves our school district as an elementary reading teacher. I've had the opportunity to visit with her and her students on multiple occasions, and also with her to have conversations about instruction and supporting our students. And she's really doing a fine job down there. Everybody, all of her supervisors feel similarly, and I second their comments about the fact that she is really going to be a wonderful permanent addition to our district. She does come to us with experience from other places, which is always very helpful. I resoundingly recommend Judith Dennehy for tenure in our district.
Okay, is there a motion to accept the tenure recommendation?
So moved.
Judy, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approves. Congratulations.
I do think that, tenure is such a normal part of what happens in schools, and I don't think everybody really understands the importance of it. It's a huge responsibility to be tenured in a district, one that, I'm fully confident that Jude understands and will take as seriously as any of us would expect. Serving our kids and providing for them, especially the neediest kids like you serve, is a very, very important thing to do, and one that I know that you will continue to grow and develop and put forth that maximal effort that we all see in you, and we're very happy to have you on, so congratulations.
Congratulations. Audit committee report. Building committee report.
Meeting scheduled for the 13th, and we'll have a lot more to say at the next meeting.
Okay. Policy committee report.
Nothing to report.
Okay, and then we have some overnight school trips that we need approval on. Robotics, I thought it said ROTS. Robotics team are scheduled for 2 regional events in March. Finger Lakes Regional at RIT from March 9th to March 12th. The students will leave Southold Wednesday 3/9. Competition is 3/10. They'll miss 3 days of school. And then the SBPLI Regional at Hofstra 3/20 to 3/23. The students will leave Southold on Sunday and they will miss 3 days of school. And the second one is SBPLI Regional at Hofstra 3/24 to 3/26, Thursday through Saturday. The students will miss 2 days of school. They'll be staying at the Long Island Marriott. First trip, okay, so I guess I should read this part so they understand this. It's the advisor's intent to only take part of the team to Hofstra on the first trip and the other half to the second event so that the entire team is not missing a full week of school. There are specific details they're working on. Is there a motion to approve these overnight trips?
So moved.
Is there a
Second.
second? Second was Scott?
John.
Oh, John, sorry, John. All in favor?
Aye.
New business? Anybody have any new business tonight? That brings us to our second hearing of visitors. At this time, we'll take comments and questions on agenda items and any school matters in general. Does anybody care to address the board at this time? Just state your name and where you live, please, Erin.
Hello, Erin Kalin, Southold. So I just had a question. I've been reading, I'm sure all of you have been reading about all the ransomware attacks on the school districts, and I know we're going into budget season, and I've been reading it's $30,000, $40,000 to protect the district against this. So I was just wondering if there was any discussion and maybe thinking about putting it into the budget, or if anything's already been done, perhaps.
So we do have a person who's in a full-time tech position for us, who has numerous things in place. It's already built into our budget. We will have conversations about what has happened. He's familiar with what has happened in Riverhead because it's what he does, for a living. And if we needed to add, different safeguards, to it. But, he's got a whole myriad of safeguards in place, inclusive of we get regular phishing emails, and then we get chastised if we click on them because they're not real, they're fake, but they're designed to help us understand what not to click on and what to click on. So when you click on the wrong thing, you then get an email from him explaining what you did, and, it's part of the process. So, we will continue to have conversations with him, and if we do need to add to our budget to add more layers, we would, but we do have a number in place already.
Does anybody else care to address the board? That brings us to our commentary. Mr. Okula, Merry Christmas down there.
Merry Christmas. So as Mr. Rush mentioned earlier, we have the high school winter concert tomorrow, and I think, as he mentioned, past 2 years now, it's been 2 years since there's been a concert at the school, so it's going to be great to have everyone back on stage, and obviously all the music directors have been working so hard to keep students involved with these music departments throughout these 2 years. It's been tough not being able to perform, so to have everyone back on stage tomorrow is going to be good to see. And then going off that point, just having these performances today, and last board meeting we had the sports, the recognition of the sports. So I think just a good thing that we have going on that recognizes students, showcasing the students. I think doing that here is just something that is very beneficial to the school, and just seeing what the students are doing and recognizing them for their talents. And then as for student council, obviously with the holidays coming up, this past weekend, the student council, and then we had about 15 members of the senior class. They helped decorate the school. We have the main hallway all decorated. And then next week, we're planning on a mini spirit week, just to have students dress up for pajama day, ugly sweater day, just get kids in the holiday spirit. And then the last day before break, there's going to be a senior volleyball tournament. So a lot for the students to be excited about, especially this exciting time of year. And we're just trying to build the spirit around the school.
Thank you. Let's go down over here and start with Mr. Tobin. We always start down at that end.
Nothing, just like to wish everybody a happy holiday season and happy kids are back and life is somewhat normal.
Judy.
I was just going to say, I love the holiday decorations, so I'm so glad that the students did that. And thank you for bringing some holiday music to us tonight. It put me in the mood, and I had really fun. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everybody, and that's it.
John?
I was glad to see someone from Greenport came and thanked us. I think that's wonderful, We really all have to work together. Things are tough, and demographics are changing, so I think the more we can do that, the better. And obviously that gentleman was happy, and his son seemed to enjoy himself playing. So happy holidays and stay safe, and we'll see you next year.
In regards to the masks, we knew what Chris was going to write. We got to follow the rules, but there's a difference between enforcement and discretion. So I just, we have plenty of discretion as far as how we enforce these mandates and enforce these rules, and I'll just leave it at that. Merry Christmas.
Congratulations on your tenure. We recognize what a big deal it is to receive tenure, and we happen to think, as Dr. Crean always says, we're in a very special place, and I think we all think that. So congratulations on your permanency in our special place. The music was great. I know last night was the junior high concert. Tomorrow night is the high school concert. We're always so proud of our music program. Thanks to the parents, thanks to the staff, to our administrators for what they do in our music. I know, when I was watching the kids playing the saxophone, I'm thinking, like, how do they even do that if they had to wear a mask? Because they can't. So I'm amazed at how, just amazed, that's all, amazed about it. It was great to see the walls and the halls all decorated up in the high school there when we came in this evening. Again, a very special place that we have here in Southold. And I feel like I have something else to say, but I can't remember. So I just want to wish everybody happy holidays. Our next our work session budget forum is on January 5th. So if you want to come out and talk about anything budget-related, that will be January 5th, and January 26th is our next regular Board of Education meeting. With that, again, thank you to the students and the staff that came out this evening, and is there a motion to adjourn? Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you.